Hey, horns up rockers y headbangers que sintonizan el canal. Híjole, el día de hoy traemos una tienda muy diferente, muy especial. La verdad es que fue un encuentro inesperado dar con este lugar. Pero andamos en la ciudad de Orlando, Florida, y nos encontramos con un concepto completamente original que es Bynx Coffee, Music and Books. ¿Qué es este lugar? Bueno, pues la tienda no solamente es una record store, no solamente se dedica a la venta de vinilos. Yo creo que se pueden dar cuenta gracias a las mesitas, que también es una cafetería. Cafetería, y tiene un par de sorpresas más. Aquí pueden ver que es un concepto muy modernista, muy nuevo. O bueno, las instalaciones están en perfecto estado, no se ve como un lugar que podríamos decir, pues un lugar oldie o algo por el estilo, para nada. Las instalaciones están perfectas. Podemos ver por acá que tenemos un escenario frente a nosotros. Aquí permiten que las bandas y los artistas vengan a exponer su propuesta. Mesitas por dentro, mesitas por fuera, y a pesar, aunque no lo crean, a pesar del gran calor que hace aquí en la ciudad, sí hay gente que se atreve. Está muy artístico el lugar, la verdad. Como pueden ver, vamos a encontrar algunas piezas de arte, aparte de la música. Por ahí ya vemos el principio de algunos vinilos, y pues tiene también sus souvenirs para hacer compras. Ahorita vamos a entrevistar, claro, a uno de los principales encargados del lugar, y pues ya nos tomamos de hecho un tecito, un té helado, un té de frutos rojos, vino también. El vino no puede faltar, los precios no están desorbitantes, y pues por aquí podemos ver un poco más de souvenirs. Todo está a la venta. Por ahí tenemos los precios. No es nada perdido, no es nada fuera de lugar, no es nada inalcanzable, y la verdad es que yo creo que vale mucho la pena la visita. Igual por ahí puedes ver un poco de más de los precios. No es la gran cosa. Y disculpen si se ve un poco chueco o me falla. Estamos estrenando estabilizador para dar mejor calidad en los videos. Y bueno, lo que más nos interesa, ¿no? Aquí nos dan la bienvenida con algunas ediciones sencillas, pero pues aquí es la librería y la tienda de discos. Aquí tenemos los de 7 pulgadas, los sencillos, 5 piezas por $10. Aquí vemos más souvenirs, y nos vamos a orillar a ver. Bueno, pues estos son como que las ediciones más sencillitas. Hay de todo aquí. Hay de todo. Podemos encontrar pues desde rock, desde heavy hard rock, rock alternativo, algo de pop también. Por ahí estuvimos revisando. Híjole, la verdad es que sí encontramos un par de tesoritos, pero hubo uno que se llevó todo y que ahorita vamos a platicar. Aquí vemos una sección, miren, aquí más arte. Aquí vemos una sección de los Beatles completamente. Igual ahí la advertencia, el respeto de que por favor no se toquen, se pregunte antes de darles su revisada. ¿Y cómo dimos con esta tienda, por cierto? Pues por justamente Record Store Day, esta asociación de tiendas que se dedican a tratar de mantener los discos de vinil con vida. Bueno, pues a través de ellos, de la página web de ellos, dimos aquí, nos comunicamos y muy amablemente nos aceptaron la visita. Aquí ya vemos una que otra pieza de metal, ahí habrá quienes lo distingan. Manejan tanto nuevo como usado. De hecho, al principio me confundí un poco porque todos traen una etiqueta que dice Used Vinyl, pero la realidad es que te das cuenta aquí justamente, que es donde están todos los new arrivals de la Record Store Day, pues que la etiqueta es para todos. Por aquí, miren, les voy a mostrar un par de las cosas que no nos vamos a llevar, porque pues ahorita que les muestre lo que nos vamos a llevar van a saber que valió mucho más la pena. Aquí algo de Motorhead, por acá estuvimos, por aquí encontramos otra pieza de Record Store Day aquí se las quiero mostrar, Bloody Kisses de Typo Negative, que hace poquito pues realizamos, bueno, hace algunos meses realizamos ya el recuento, la reseña de este álbum, pero en formato CD. Ahí vemos también libros, más muestra. Por aquí esto es una sección más como hip hop y bueno, entre otras cosas, Frank Sinatra, vemos jazz, vemos blues. Aquí hay un poco más de rock, le dimos una checada, pero es un rock más clásico, no es tanto de nuestro interés. Y aquí vemos pues una pequeña sección de metal para la banda. Ya no está aquí lo que nos estamos llevando, pero sí nos dio algo de tentación de Entomb y de Destruction, por eso lo pueden ver ahí separado enfrente. Y pues básicamente yo les recomiendo que se den la vuelta. El barrio es muy tranquilo, dan muchas ganas de andar paseando. Fuimos aquí también a dar la vuelta por las plazas de los alrededores y híjole, no me quería venir para acá de lo cómodo que está, pero pues el tiempo apremia. Y pues básicamente eso es, señores. Vamos a pasar con una entrevista con el señor Philly, que es nuestro anfitrión, un tipo muy amable que comprende las necesidades y los gustos de los coleccionistas. Venga, señores. Bueno, rockers, headbangers, bienvenidos. Ya estamos aquí con el señor Philly. Él es el manager de toda el área de retail, de todo lo que vimos por allá atrás, racks, y de mantener la tienda surtida, y además él es el coordinador de eventos, por eso estamos pues de este lado del stage. Philly, how are you?
Good, and yourself? Welcome to Bynx.
Very good. Thank you very much for accepting us and for taking the time
it's a pleasure to have you
for attending us. So Philly, first of all, I would like to know a little bit more about how the concept of the store came out, who took it, where from.
Okay.
And well, it's a very original store, so we would like to know more about it.
Yes. This kind of concept is not known around this area, you know. Basically, it's a family-owned business, and the family are actually from Newfoundland in Canada.
Okay.
And their son moved here like a certain amount of years ago, and he had a conversation with his parents, his dad, and they came up with this idea of like opening up a coffee shop, but also a record store. And then James, the son, is an up-and-coming artist and producer, and he wanted to try to get a recording studio together.
Okay.
So the concept, the idea was floating in the air, and then they made it a reality.
Yeah.
You know, so
okay.
So we've got a lot of different things going on underneath the one roof, and the idea came up around 4 years ago, and we're open a year and a half now. And
a year and a half.
Yeah,
okay.
Things are going good. Obviously, with the pandemic and stuff, things are a bit all over the place. But
I see all the time people coming in, coming out. So
yes.
The hour every here.
Yes, every day we're growing and getting stronger and getting better, and it's a kind of a new neighborhood here as well. It hasn't really kicked off yet, but when it does, we hope to be the headquarters of this neighborhood. You know.
Okay,
so it's
sure.
Very exciting and a very fun place to work.
And I see also you focus a lot on the social media. I see everywhere like this canvas that asks you to publish if you will buy something here, to publish that you were on the store, and to show the people on their social media that they were here, right?
Yeah, like we do. Like we sell a lot of used records as well. So like when we get like a batch of records, I grade them, I price them, I put them up on social media. We kind of do like we do like, as I said, a lot of used records, but we do like kind of a lot of high-end records, like super rare stuff. Some of it is a bit like on the higher end price, but that's the market, and that's what it suggests, and that's what it's there for. We do a lot of like Japanese imports, especially a lot of jazz. We've got a lot of jazz Japanese imports, which is pretty decent. But we also like do across the board as well, you know. So we did our first record store day this year in April. That was our first one. That was very exciting. Great day for us. We had a great day that day. So yeah, it's all baby steps, you know. So it's exciting, but we're known for our high-end kind of like rare records, you know.
Yeah.
Some stuff that's harder to find.
I saw it. At the end of the interview, I would like to show with you the record that I just bought. So
that's cool.
I think they are really rare. So how do you manage the stage? I mean, you look for the artist, they look for you, both. What kind of music?
Well, kind of like at the start, I kind of like started to. I know a lot of musicians around town and stuff, and I'm kind of into the music scene and stuff. So I kind of started to reach out to people and get them to play here. But now it's getting to a stage where people are coming to me, and I'm getting a lot of promoters coming to me, and people wanting to put on different events and stuff. I had people reach at a guy here from Gainesville like a few weeks ago, and now somebody from Miami's after reaching out to me because they heard about the spot and they want to do something here. So we're also known for our jazz here. We have like jazz is like we had our first jazz festival here last May.
Okay,
which is great. We have like a monthly like jazz jam here on the first Friday of every month, and like they're kind of like some of the younger. We're getting a lot of the younger jazz people here, which is fresh to see as well, and like they're like bringing their own elements to it, and they love having this space to be able to be creative and show their work and what they do, and we get a lot of talented people coming through here.
I think jazz, it's not a fashion or a trend, but
no,
it always attracts people, right?
Oh, it
always gets new and new and new.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
When I started working here and started working with all these jazz guys, it kind of opened my eyes really to the jazz world and what it's about, and it's very exciting, and especially these younger kids, they're super talented. But we just don't do jazz. We do like kind of alternative indie nights here. We have our own Bynx showcase, which is like an open mic night. We do like kind of like Latin style and Latin based kind of nights here as well, which goes down really well. We do like kind of like some like pop artists and stuff as well, and rap and hip hop, and straight across the board, like so it's really fun. And as I said, people are really enjoying our creative space here.
Okay, and then that brings me to the question: what's your history in music? I mean, have you ever played in a band or something?
Yes, back in Ireland. I moved here 10 years ago, actually, from Ireland, and I used to play in original and cover bands there. Like I'm like probably, I'd say probably Radiohead is probably my favorite band, one of my favorites, and so I'm kind of it. But I'm also like big into the electronic scene as well. Like you know, I used to mix house music and stuff.
What instrument?
Bass guitar. Bass for me. Like I'm all about bass. So like I grew up in the electronic world as well. So like you know, it's so I'm like really big into electronic, but also like in the alternative. I'm basically in everything.
Okay. Well, the next question. So, why vinyls and only vinyls?
Well, I think for us, I feel that like you know, I mean, we are vinyl as we know as there's this ridiculous resurgence of vinyl over the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Especially like kind of like the younger kids are getting into it now, so it's a really cool and fun thing. For me. Personally, I just grew up around vinyl. And also when I used to mix electronic music back in the day, first of all, it was all vinyl. You know what I mean? And I've got like a ridiculous record collection back in Ireland, but I also have a huge record collection here. Vinyl, for me, is I just love the feel of it, the smell of it, like how like you can like hold it in your hand like a book. You know what I mean, and you can just take it out, and it's physical. It's like a physical touch.
You can even smell it.
You can smell it. That's the thing. I love going into record stores and the smell. It just gives me a buzz, like you know. And I feel that, as I said, like there's a resurgence for it now, and there's like a really buzz around vinyl again, and like there's a lot more available again now because of the demand. You know, so it's so. My friend, when he got me involved in here, he knew I was big into vinyl and stuff as well. So, and I used to work in record stores back in the day as well. So I know it. But like, I just think that like it's super cool, and it's great. Like as I said, like for younger generations to really feel out what happened in the past and what's actually going on again now. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are into the coloured vinyl and stuff and picture discs, and so I think it's super fun. I think I think like, you know what I mean. We all like have, like, you know what I mean, Spotify or whatever playlists and that. But the fun thing about record is you listen to it from start to finish. You turn it one side, then you turn around, you listen to all of it. You know, and I think we're missing that now these days.
Completely. How do you do to have your racks filled with all those vinyls?
Say that again.
How do you do to have all those vinyls?
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, basically, we've reached out to some collectors that we know. We know like a really big collector in Canada, in Toronto.
Okay.
So like basically like what happens with him is that like people will come to him and try to sell him their bunch of records, and then if he thinks it's something that we'd be into, he'll reach out to us, and then if we're into what we see, we'll buy it. We go to different like record fairs and stuff as well. We go to one in Jacksonville. We actually flew to New York and we bought a bunch of records, and we actually drove back with the records. So like we kind of shop around. We haven't got into the actually like dealing with a distributor yet and starting to like buy some kind of newer title, which we're going to do. You know what I mean? But like it's fun going through people's
completely. Does people come to sell their collection?
Some people will reach out to me and they'll say, I've got my parents' old record collection. I'm just wondering, is it worth anything? Because like, as I said, like the value and the worth of records has gone up a lot. Like especially since like COVID, and the pressing plants have been actually on a backlog, and they're trying to catch up with the demand. So the market for records at the moment is actually like very, very high. So we got people coming in and ask, and sometimes they try to, you go, oh no, it's not kind of what we're looking for, or it's not really in great condition to warrant for us to sell it, like, you know what I mean? Because I have to regrade that and clean them and stuff. So.
I suppose you are also a collector.
Oh yes, huge.
Only vinyls or also CDs?
Well, only vinyl over here, but I have like a ridiculous amount of CDs back in Ireland. That was one of the perks of working in a record store. I got huge discounts. You know, so my CD collection is ridiculous. So,
Okay, well, basically that was the main questions. Let me show what I found here.
Excellent.
It's completely a piece of history, at least for metal, which is our main. The people that watch the channel focus into metal, and it's. I think it's the first edition, or at least it's from the 1984. The Apocalyptic Rites from Hellhammer, which is completely something that created all the actual genres of extreme metal that exist. They come from here. Y bueno, lo encontramos aquí. La verdad es que the truth is that I was shaking when I saw it.
I think like that is more than another wonderful thing about like going to record stores and finding something that could be looking for years, and you've nearly given up, and then you go into this small record store in the middle of nowhere and you're flicking through it, and it's an amazing feeling. I know what that feeling is like, so I'm happy that you got it with
this one. I'm not going to review it on the channel, because on the channel I just make of new sealed copies. However, we are showing to the people, and well, thank you very much for
Excellent, no worries, and thank you again. It's a pleasure being talking to you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you.